Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome to the start of a reading vlog. And this is a specific reading vlog because it's the 12th of January and I realized that I think one of the series that I've included on my series to read in 2026 may not actually come out this year. So I've decided to replace it with a series that I know I currently have to read that I was going to read this year anyway. Hopefully mid-year, if I have more information about Emily Rath's Jacksonville Ray series, then I may add it back on. But I'm going to be reading the 3 books in the Bride Hunt series by Evie Mitchell, Lana Pecherczyk and Bec McMaster. So a little bit of context about this. This is a special edition box set that I picked up at Rare. So if you've seen my Rare blog, you may have seen this. I can't remember how detailed or how much I showed of the actual box when I was showing the books that I bought. The story behind the Bride Hunt series is that all 3 of these authors were over in Edinburgh for Rare over there last year or the year before, and they got to talking and they came up with this concept for a series and they decided to co-write it together and also make it a luxury special edition box. Lana Pecherczyk has done all of the artwork for it, so she is not only a writer but she's also an artist, and she has a lot of process videos for how she does her art on her channels, and also she's really lovely. I've met all 3 authors at signings previously. I've also had the opportunity to sit down and chat to both Evie and Lana in various capacities at different events and things like that. So while this was an expensive box, I did and ah about it for a little while, and then I went, you know what, I actually enjoy all 3 authors. I want to support them. They're Aussie authors. It's fun, it's a gorgeous box, and also for a big event like Rare, it's a great keepsake to have from that. Like, this is a really good quality box. It has the ribbon on the front and it does have magnetic closures on the lid, and the artwork goes all the way around the box. So I'll be keeping this box after I take everything out. So it says "She Will Rise" on the front. Everything's inside. All of the little books, which they're pocket books, which is so cute, are inside. I'm gonna take everything out and show you, like, the artwork goes everywhere in this box. So definitely keeping that. Let's put it over there for the minute. So all of the 3 little books, they're all pocket size, like they're the size of my hand, but they're all hardback. They're all special edition books. Each book comes in its own pouch, and each pouch has its own little symbol depending on which book it is. And they do have they have had a website set up where you can do a quiz to see where to start, because you can start anywhere in the series and then you just keep reading. So this one I think is the Huntress. I think it's Bec McMaster's book. So this is the Huntress cover. She Will Rage. It has holographic foiled edges, which I love. All of the hardbacks have beautiful foiling on them. Gorgeous end papers. Like I said, all done by Lana. And also they all have special little signed plates because these were an event exclusive in this format. Then we have Lana's book, which is the Queen. So the Queen, so She Will Rule. It's the hardback, and that's Lana's signed page. And then Evie's book, which is the Maiden. And it says She Will Riot. Like, they're really nice. They're high quality. The dust jackets are that soft, matte, buttery kind of finish, which means I cannot touch these books if I've touched anything else because they will get dirty. And I'm not that precious about things, but like, this is a really gorgeous series. So that's Evie's signature page. Just listen. Oh, we love cracking pages. Oh, and they do have a chapter title pages. So those are all the books. Like, they're altogether, they're super cute. I have this thing about pocket books. I don't know what it is. Like, look, so tiny. And then it came with some enamel pins and also some character cards and some stickers. So there's a little promo card which has the QR code where you can visit the website. There are little chibi character cards and also some holographic ones featuring I think these are the designs from the hardback covers. And then we have the character cards, and these are super, like, these are sturdy cards. They're not going to break. Like, you could have them on display, standing up somewhere. They all have the Bride Hunt slogans on the back. There's the Trickster God card. I will do a little bit of a quick video overlay of them on a flat surface so you can see them. And then you get a character card for each of the pairings from the books. So there is the Queen and the Huntsman. That's Lana's book. The Huntress and the Beast, which is Bec's book, and The Maiden and the Pirate, which is Evie's book. And they do all have the foiling on it, which is so nice. Like, I don't think I've ever got character cards. Like, you would have to use force to bend this. Like, I'm actually putting pressure on this. They're amazing quality. And then there are the pins. I'm just going to take them out of the plastic so it's easier to see them. Okay, so there's the Huntress, the Queen, and the Maiden. All right, so I'll insert some footage of the cards and things like that just from an overhead view for you. Part of the reason that I am going to start the vlog now is because Evie is releasing the Maiden on January 28th as a wide thing. So this is the cover for the Maiden, which is like the image on the hardback, but this is the cover for the ebook. So I will be starting that today, and hence why I figured I would do a proper unboxing of the box, show you, and I'm going to, you know, document the reading of this series, because I'm excited about it. The basic premise is that you have women who are plucked out of their everyday lives and thrown into the bride hunt, where they either have to run and hide or be caught by men. But maybe there's a little bit of a twist on that trope, and I'm very, very excited to dive into it. So I'm about 45% of the way into the story, so here's a little bit of an update. I am reading The Maiden by Evie Mitchell, and I started this because I have an e-arc of the book, which, yes, I have the physical copy, but if I've got a choice between reading the digital or the physical book on first read, I'll probably always go digital. We get the setup for this story, which is there is a world where the female god, or the god of women, has abandoned that world because of the way that women were treated, and as such there are very few women left, and even fewer who can have children, and so they are a commodity. And Casaros, who is the trickster god, has created a set of games, the Labyrinth of Brides, where he plucks women from other worlds, places them in his labyrinth, and hunters or men from the other world or different worlds compete to try and claim one of the women. So obviously there's a lot of content warnings and things like that, because not everyone is in there with pure intent. And Syrah is our female protagonist. She is a healer from a world where the choice for safety for women is either to get married and be protected by your husband, or to be a healer, because healers are seen as an important skill to have. And so she wakes up in the labyrinth, she finds out what's going on, and almost immediately she is caught by a man who starts hunting her, and he is not pleasant. She is saved by Rook, who happens to help her find a hiding spot, and he is charming. He is roguish and rakish, but charming. And they begin to get to know one another as he's helping her to find her way out of the labyrinth. And he has the ability to naturally know sort of the right direction to go in. It's not magic as such, as it is just this innate awareness, or so we think. We also get a bit of Rook's background, which is that he's entered the labyrinth. He's not necessarily supposed to be there, but he's traded his way in by representing a man who is holding his brother captive. So his job is to charm a woman into choosing him and then hand her over to the guy that is holding his brother. So that's kind of going to be the source of conflict, aside from everything else that's going on. There's a lot of violence and gore and scary moments, all sorts of stuff, but I'm enjoying it. It's reading really, really quickly. Hello friends, I finished The Maiden. Absolutely loved it. We do get the reveal of Rook's secret, and Syrah obviously being rather upset by that, all thanks to the trickster being you know, the little chaos gremlin that he proclaims to be, and Rook has to make it up to Syrah. One of the rules that exists within the labyrinth and the hunt is that while you're in the labyrinth you can't lie, and that you'll physically be punished by the markings that mean that you are a player in the labyrinth. So yes, Rook lies, but then he also has to tell the truth and if he doesn't tell the truth, then it would be revealed. So we love that. We love a happy ending. Rook is very charming. I love that Syrah saves herself multiple times. She is a total boss, and yeah, it was a good time. So I will hopefully pick up the Queen and the Huntress at some point in the near future, and I will update you then. Hi everyone, I am back for the next part of this vlog. I'm hoping to read, or at least start, The Huntress by Bec McMaster today. I thought what I would do is I am going out to a book event today, and it is a fantasy romance slash romantasy themed event. It's called Enchanted Readers and Authors. It is being hosted here in Melbourne, and I, on a whim, at the end of last year bought myself a ticket to it, even though I am not, like, we know this isn't my wheelhouse, which in some ways is probably a good thing, because I'm not expecting to buy much at all. I don't think I did any pre-orders. I didn't do any pre-orders. So I'm not expecting to spend lots of money, but I just thought it'd be fun to go sell, you know, support an event in my city. I probably won't be there for I'll be there maybe for an hour or two tops, max, and then come back and get on with my day. And I'm kind of desperately fighting the urge to go at the minute, because in my head my brain is like, you've just started back at work and you are exhausted, and I'm at war with myself, but I am going. In fact, I should have left already, because buses are replacing trains for part of the trip, but I don't know, we're just gonna be calm, relaxed. We're just gonna go have a look. Like, there's a couple of things that I'm curious to have a look at, and I might get a book or two. There's some really great vendors who I've seen before, and I always enjoy checking out their stuff. So that's the plan for this morning. Travel wise, I'll be reading the book as I go. Why, hello, I am back, and I thought I would share with you what I collected and then talk a little bit about the Huntress. I was at era26, so Enchanted Readers and Authors. The sponsors are down there. First of all, I want to say it was a really good event. The one thing I will comment on though is there wasn't enough space, and as someone who, like, I go to book events on my own all the time, so even though I did say this morning that, you know, I was kind of tempted not to go, and that's just because I was tired, but it's not because I don't want to go, and I'm not happy to talk to authors that I don't know and things like that. But there was so little space between most of the tables that it was really, really hard to get around, and that's what triggers anxiety in me. So that was a problem. And then also because it was quite humid today, it was very, very warm in the center, so having to kind of be in very small aisles which barely fit two people walking down the tables, where you have two tables facing each other, that was a little bit tough. And sometimes that happens in events. Not my preference if I'm going to something. But other than that, like, the authors were lovely, the vendors there were great. There was space like on the sides and in the corners of the room, but like if you were trying to look at stuff, it was really kind of difficult to look at stuff, which, you know, could be a challenge. I did have a VIP ticket, so I got a big bag, which this is quite a good quality bag, holds a lot of stuff. Got my lanyard. One of the things that they had there is you could get a free scenting spell, which is just like scented beads. I don't know if they're wax melts or not, but I got bergamot and orange, which is really cute. So that just came with the price of the ticket. There was a fan. Everyone was using these in the event hall. So every story is better with you in it. I think I might take this into the classroom. There was little maps. These were great because they were just readily available for people to grab. There is, what is this? A spray? Is it a, I don't know if it's a room spray or not. Okay, some kind of spray. It's lavender, amber, sage, and tonka bean from Nocturnal Witch. Oh, that actually smells really nice. Room and body spray. It's a really nice bottle. Little baggie. So there is a keychain that says book lover, and also a pop socket that says you are magic. I don't know if it's going to focus. There are some event specific stickers. These are really cute. Promo card for are Moody, Null and Void. I do want to try at some point some more vendor stuff. There were 2 quest things, but when I saw how crowded it was and how small the space was, I decided I wasn't going to do any of those, just because I didn't stay all that long. I think I was maybe there an hour. Okay, this is a promo for Trilogy of Romance, which is a dark romance bookstore. as I said, I don't do dark romance. There is a bookmark that says bibliophile. They did have a calligraphy artist there doing bookmarks that you could, and we could get one personalized, but again, I wasn't going to hang around and wait to get that done because it just wasn't going to happen. Oh, there's an art print from Songbird and Sorrows by Brady Otto. Brady or Birdie? Brady. Brady, not Brady Otto. So that's the book there. Fun fact, this book comes out in February, and Brady had said that she was going to have a number of early copies that people could purchase there. By the time I got there and remembered to go to her stall, I think she'd sold all of them, but it is one that I'm kind of keen to at least give a try at some point. Oh, there's a House of Sky and Breath print. And then there's another bag of goodies. These look like bookmarks and bits and pieces. There's actually some book plates, which I knew that they were in there, but again, I wasn't getting things signed, so I didn't use them. But they don't actually have the event name on the book plate, so I can save those for another event in the future. Right, there is a Null and Void bookmark, a Forever in Fiction bookmark, a bookmark from Zoe J, who writes a couple of different genres, and then a bookmark from Trilogy of Romance. This one says Love Yourself Between Dreams, and then a 15% off code for Tales and Twine. So that's what was in the VIP bag. I'm in love with this. The more it's been lingering in the air, I'm just like, I really like this scent, so I'm gonna keep that just over here so I can spray it around the room. All right, what else did I get? Let's do books first. I only bought 2 things. One of them was a blind date with a book from Nicola Marsh, and the prompts on here were sports romance, ex-AFL player, girl boss, found family. Will this be the year that I read more than just a handful of non-hockey book romances? I don't know. Let's give it a go. Given that this one has an ex-AFL player, I feel like this could be for one of the Australian romance vlogs that I do this year. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, I'm just cutting off a string. And it's called Bold. Oh, and is it set in Vegas? And he's an ex-Aussie footballer. That could be kind of fun. I know. I've told myself a million times I'm not going to buy books that I don't get to choose myself, but when in Rome. And then I also bought a book from Shayla Morgenstern, which I've actually had on my list of things to try. I just didn't get a chance to do it before the event. It was kind of fun just listening to her and having a look, and this was a special edition she had of Mythos Unbound. It's got pretty sprayed edges and gold foiling, and in the bag there's stickers of her main characters. I believe this is paranormal romance or maybe urban fantasy-ish. Ghouls, vampires, someone's in the FBI. Like, it's been on my radar for a little bit, so I'm really keen to try it. And I mean, I shouldn't have bought this, but I did. She had some artwork packs, but they have the vellum inserts. God, I love a vellum insert for a book. I would take vellum inserts over sprayed edges, I think, as long as I know where to put them. And there is a little code here that says which pages they go on. Are these the monsters? Like, there's Lamia or Lamia, I can't remember how you pronounce that. There's a ghoul, there's our main characters, and then, oh, a manticore. That's really cool. And also a bookmark. And on the back, a little reading tracker, which you could put in a reading journal. So this, I was super excited to try. What did oh God, did I lose a sticker already? Let's just put all this together, shall we? Yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to do like Australia romance authors that I haven't tried before videos with those books. Pretty much everything else, the only other things that I got were kind of merchy book related things. So the first one was from the Enamel Library, and they do stickers and keychains and enamel pins. So I ended up getting 3 enamel pins. The first one is called the Librarian. A lot of their pins are terrarium style pins, so they're little worlds in terrariums. Now, I don't know if this one had a name, can't remember it, but like a little spell shop. I loved it. I also got the Knight and the Moth, which I know I haven't read yet, but let's face it, I am going to read it, and I loved Rachel Gillig's other book, so I was pretty confident in my choice. It's so cute. It comes like in a little book, yeah, with some little Velcro, inspired by the Knight and the Moth, which I love. It's a little book terrarium. And then as for the stickers, there's a book sticker that says, "Am I a book hoarder? How to identify if you have a problem and immediately buy more books." There's Cryptid Candid Camera, and this one just because I'm a science fiction nerd. I was say science fiction or science fact. I did buy an art print from The Moon et tu, and I think I'm pretty sure I saw them at the Finders Keepers market. But they do these really gorgeous tarot and sort of god and goddess themed foil prints. So I got the star, I didn't know whether to get the star or the moon, but I quite liked the star. And it's kind of a rainbow holographic print, so I don't know, maybe it'll end up over here. And then I got a bunch of stickers, which I think are all Taylor Swift inspired stickers from A Touch of Magic. So they're books with Taylor Swift albums on them, books with Taylor Swift songs on them. This is the Midnight's one. I should have double checked to see if they had a Reputation one. I love that album. Lyrics from I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I thought they were really cute. And because I bought something, I got some freebies. So there's a free magnet, I don't know what it's from. And then a bunch of bookmarks, which they look like they're Sarah J Maas bookmark. I'll have to find my friends who like Sarah J Maas because I don't need them, or I can. So Tharian, Adis, Danica, Bryce, Hunt and Rune. Look at me remembering the characters from that series, even though I haven't read it since the first book. And Crescent City on the back. But that's kind of cool that you got like I only spent like $12 on stickers and I got what, 6 bookmarks? That was what I got from the event. After I left, I went to Dimmicks and I was looking, I'm sorry, I'm just getting things out of the bag. I was looking at, oh God, words. Steph, words. Well, I looked in the romance section, I looked in the sci-fi fantasy section. In the end, I just ended up in the kids section because of course I did, and came home with some picture books. So there is The Fishmonger and The Pastry Chef, I Love You Every Colour. This one, which I've been meaning to pick up for a while, Audrey Skips by Andrea Rao and Lisa Kultz. This is about the skipping girl, which is a very famous sign here in Melbourne. They had a couple of, you know, current holiday. Oh look, I'm getting foil from the cover. A couple of current holiday books for kids. So there is A Very Happy Ramadan, which I'm adding to my collection of Ramadan books because we have a lot of kids at school who celebrate Ramadan, and also The Race for the Chinese Zodiac. I have quite a few Lunar New Year books, but I haven't had this one. This one's by Sally Rippon, by Gabrielle Wang, and illustrated by Sally Rippon and Regine Abos, and it's kind of, I forget when this was first published. I remember this was first published in 2010, and I've been looking for a copy of it for a while, but I haven't been able to find one. So it was there and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna grab it. My last little stop was to Haig's Chocolates, where I bought 2 of the dark peppermint pastilles because I love these, and the last time I went there they didn't have them, so I'm like, I'm buying 2. I have a little container to put them in. I think I showed that in another vlog last year, but these are like my favorite, and because they're dark chocolate, I don't eat a lot of them all at once. I'm usually good with like 1 or 2 after dinner, so they'll last me for a while. So that's everything that I picked up today. As I said, I was going to read The Huntress by Bec McMaster while I was traveling to and from, because I had buses and trains and commutes and whatnot. So I did download the Huntress on Kindle Unlimited, even though I do have the beautiful little book. It says, I'm going to burn this fucking whorehouse to the ground. Not even going to apologize for language, because very appropriate. So this is the actual cover that you'll see on the digital book, except all of this design, instead of being foiled, is kind of a magenta-y pink. It's very pretty. So this is the story of Zyla, who voluntarily volunteers herself for the bride hunt. She is a huntress. She's very strong. She's very capable. She's there for a reason. Her sister was taken 9 years earlier, and she has found out that she was taken by a beast, and she is determined to hunt down the beast in the labyrinth and kill him for taking her sister. Along the way, she befriends very quickly another girl there who is not a fighter, has no knowledge of what the bride hunt even is, and so she is trying to help her, and they're running, but then they're both taken by a group of men, and her friend is about to be sold off to the highest bidder. Zyla's not, because she fights back, and they're all like, no, we won't fetch a good price for her, but we're going to have plans for her later, and none of it is good. She happens to be in a prison cell next to Bale, and he is someone that the guards of this prison are afraid of. He's chained and he has a magic lock on his magic, and she steals his knife, which happens to be kind of magical, and escapes and sets out burning down the castle that they're in and trying to set the women free. Bale also escapes and is determined to follow her, and we find out pretty quickly that he has recognized that she is probably his mate. We also know pretty quickly that he's probably the beast that she is looking for, and so therefore we have a wonderful situation where she is a huntress and he is the beast she's hunting, but he's protecting her, and she doesn't know it until she does. She figures it out and is rightly annoyed that he has recognized that she is hunting him but hasn't told him, but he's also fallen for her. Then we take a sidestep into a sex club within this place with some very steamy scenes, but it was fun. So I had a great time with this. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading The Queen, which is the next one. So stay tuned. I will hopefully get that done in the next couple of days, and then we can get this vlog up for everyone. But now I need to find a really cold drink because it is so humid today. Not okay. Hello friends, it is time to wrap up this reading vlog because I did indeed finish reading The Queen by Lana, which is the final book so far in this series. I'm just taking off the dust jacket. It is very pretty and shiny. It does also have the premise of the entire series on the dust jacket, which I'd never paid attention to reading before, but it's there. And this is the cover of the hardback. I did read the ebook rather than the physical copy just because that's where I am at the moment. And I'm kind of glad that I read this one last. And I know when I was talking to Lana at Rare that she said that she, like so many people, she was always asking people who they got in the quiz, and she said, you know, no one ever seems to get the Queen. But I don't think that's a bad thing because this book really, the ending of it in particular, is kind of like setting up the next set of books or the next series if they decide to continue on with the series. So in a lot of ways, I feel like reading the Maiden or the Huntress first. I don't think those two really matter the order that you read them in, although I'm really happy with the order that I read the books in, which was Maiden, Huntress, Queen. But I do feel like this is a really good one to read at the end. My personal preference, my personal opinion, take that as you will. In this book, we're not starting in the labyrinth. We actually start with the backstory of our Queen character. The story opens when Florian is still quite young and she is with her best friend Draven, and she gets her period for the first time, which signals that she's fertile, and she is taken by the huntsman to the pen, which is basically a place on her world where girls who are fertile are taken and they are trained in the feminine arts. And like all of these books have like multiple Kindle pages of content warnings, so be mindful of that. Like, hang on, I'm sure they're in here as well. Content information, like 3 pages. And in this case, Florian is non-consensually trained in how to behave around a man. Then when push comes to shove and someone else is chosen for the bride hunt, she volunteers, and the Baron of the land comes in and he is intrigued by this concept and he starts killing the other women who are potential brides, which Florian is not happy about, but it does mean that Florian is entered into the contest. And when she wakes, she makes a deal with Casaros, the trickster god, straight away. And she's determined to win because her bargain is that if she wins their bargain and leaves at the end, then all brides go free and the bride hunt is no more. We know with the trickster god, there's always going to be a loophole, but like this is the bargain that she strikes. And we also find out that the huntsman is in the labyrinth, but he's not the same huntsman as the huntsman that took her away as a child. Maybe it's Draven, which she doesn't know about because she thought he died. And so it is them coming face to face, and Draven has to strike his own deal, a second deal with Casaros, who he's already struck a deal with to become the huntsman in the first place. And as they're going through the tournament, it's basically a childhood friends to lovers story under extreme circumstances, and it is wild. It is wild, and I'm really happy that I did actually buy these books and that I've read them and that I've had such a good time with them. They're fairly short, like this one was just under 200 pages on Kindle and very easy to read. Like I'm very familiar with Lana's writing style, so it works for me. I know that it works. This is probably the darkest of them that I read because Florian and Draven have quite a bit of things to work through. They have a lot of things to work through, and Florian has some magic attached to her where she's able to save or kill people with her blood. There's a bit of that happens in the book, but honestly, just a really cool little concept of a world. And this one does leave off, well, I mean, all the books leave off open-ended enough for another follow-up book from each of the authors, but actually this one, like the premise of what could possibly happen in the next bride hunt is really intriguing, and the character that we are left off with, knowing that they will probably be the next female protagonist, she's interesting. She's interesting, and I really hope they do a second series because that would be fun. So that is the bride hunt wrapped up, and I had a lot of fun with it. Thanks for sticking with this video. If you got this far, well done. Yeah, I'm intrigued. It does make me want to go back and continue reading some of Lana's work. I've got a few things on my Kindle that I'm a bit behind on, so that's potentially something that's going to happen later this year. And you know, I keep reading Evie, and I will be keeping an eye on Bec McMaster's work. So stay tuned. But on that note, I'm going to wrap it up because I've got a whole bunch of editing to do today, and food to make and things that I should have done all day, but you know, I just crashed and read my book. In the description, I'll have the titles of all the books and all the authors. I'd love to know if you're planning on picking up The Bride Hunt, or if you've started reading any of the books. Feel free to chat to me about it down below. Otherwise, feel free to leave a rose emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you're around the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.